Shalom, shalom, Most High in Christ. I'm the host with the most. I'm Judea here at One Nation Muslim Bible School. We start in a second. Shalom, shalom, Most High in Christ. Shalom, shalom, Most High in Christ. Happy Sabbath, happy Sabbath, happy Sabbath. Well, Lord, excuse me. Lord, spare us to see another one. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm not exactly gleeful this Sabbath. So work with us. Work with us. Shalom, Most High in Christ, happy Sabbath. And as y'all know, I am the host with the most, Madam Judea here at Light School. So, I'm gonna say it's been one hell of a day on the prep day, which was yesterday first prep day where we prepped for the Sabbath. Nothing went right. Nothing went right. I literally was up to 6 a.m. 6 a.m. before I could even try to get sleep. So, how do you start it off in a situation like this? I'll tell you what we do. say we say some prayers to shake this thing and then try to go, try to build. Set up. I did have a title. Yeah. And if the cat's away, the mice will play. Yeah, give me a second. I'm trying to fix this stuff. All right. Cats away, the mice will play. Um, I had a different route I was gonna go. Um, with this title, but we just gonna be. We're gonna see where it go. Um, let's send up prayer. Yeah. Um, sound. Real quick. Move that sound. Sound low. I don't know. Might have to talk like this. I don't know. Might have to talk like this. All right, nice and crisp. Nice and crisp. Are you ready? Shalom, shalom. Yeah, we here, we here, we here. Why you laughing at me? Hey, you fucking me up. My bad, y'all. God, as it within, word within, let the word go out strong. That's some edification that comes from it. Most of all, Father God, give us the strength to overcome these things. That we may be able to receive and move according to thy will. All right. Bless those who look forward to doing thy works and seek diligently after thee. do that. Till then, pray that what you count necessary. Salaki, we pray that you count our works worthy of entering into thy kingdom. Pray for your judgment. Whatever it is that we go through, you know what it is. That if we do ourselves, send us the clarity and forget for it. Son Christ, I praise thee. So, I guess I'll start off like always. How was the weeks? How was the week? Who want to go first? The week. I feel much like learning, learning myself, like that. I'm doing some a lot of examining. Very examining. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm trying to put a damn comment in. Oh, somebody had a rough week. My week was gospel illumination. Shalom. Y'all forgive me. My comment was kind of dry after y'all had to put out. We have those flare-ups. Have the flare-ups. But the week for you is a learning self-examination. It's like kind of. I don't know if y'all meant to do that, but that's how the Most High works. I mean, that's how it works. Your answer is examination. Direct answer was examination. The two shall be one flesh. Sounds about right. It sounds about right. And then Jazzy J said the week was hell. So everybody looked like it was pretty much tried this week somewhere or another. And I'm gonna follow along in that. Trying. This week was trying. But we made it through. All right, so what's going on today? What's going on today? Today was a challenge to stay in the spirit and pride. You're over here making this shit hard. Well, you know how it goes. We got the flare-ups. Had them days, man. Today, to be honest, is a day where I'm in the motion. I guess what you call it. Because remember we got a class called Not in the Mood. Or them days, you know what the spirit, I don't know. It's just like you just better. I explained it before. One of the days where you may not be inspired to go through whatever you're supposed to go through, but basically just I understand what we're supposed to do, so the discipline part of it is taking over. It's like I don't really feel like I want to do. I ain't in the mood. I'm just, but I know the discipline part of it. It's my job to be here, communicating in the spirit and trying to pull out whatever it is most I want to use me to bring out this week. So, I understand. Um, which brings me all the way back around. That's why I said I had something else in mind with that title. But still like this. So I don't know if the last time I stayed, right? I don't know if y'all heard it, but it was about like I want to say like it was about an hour or two after we all went and laid down. I got up and I had to go outside. And I came back in probably about 40 minutes later. And I don't know if y'all can hear it or not, but as soon as I basically, I ain't gonna say soon as, but as soon as I was getting to the damn near dead part of the sleep, as soon as I get into the damn near dead part of the sleep, phone rings. Okay. Um. So I get the call, wakes me up. I go outside. Couple that we had just gave advice to them. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm not gonna say the names because I promise that much. But the couple we give the advice to, this specific couple wrote about jumping the gun. We give them advice in the Sabbath class, and a couple hours after the Sabbath, I get a call. Couple going at it, fighting. So I didn't make it last Sabbath, so we didn't get to talk about it. We didn't get to deal with it. Come around today, last night I didn't have my truck. So I literally was just around. I was able to get my truck at like 6. I didn't get to do a class. Still just going. So you get what I'm saying? It's probably like we did have a class though, didn't we last week? We still had a class even though I wasn't here. But basically that issue was left to just linger through all that time. Well, about 11:18 today, text message comes, not text message, email comes, same couple, and I know y'all probably watching. The same couple, because that wasn't dealt with when it was supposed to be dealt with, it lingered on until another fight last night. So when the cat's away, the mice will play was a topic for another class. But we're gonna kind of deal with what's going on instead of letting it just keep on lingering. All right, so um I ain't dealt with this in a little bit. But let's do with it. So that's pretty much the backdrop of why this how this all came about. We gave advice on the Sabbath, the last Sabbath I was here. Later on that night, they get into a fight. I wasn't able to make it Sabbath. They get into a fight again last night. And we here. All right. Now to be said, told you, jumping the gun is gonna come with its kinks. It's gonna come with a lot of gonna come with a lot of bumping and stuff before we get to smooth passes or whatever. And even then, that's what it's still gonna be fights. It's still gonna be fights. They're gonna reoccur. But um, within the midst of the arguments, the bumps, the scrapes, the corrections, and all of that, coming to understanding. Um, get Psalms real quick. I say understanding. Understanding Psalms, say like 111. Psalms. One 11 verse 10.
Psalms chapter 111 and verse 10. Psalms chapter 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endure forever.
Read it again.
Psalm chapter 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments.
It says a good understanding have they that do his commandments. Now, the reason why I wanted that is to get understanding. We understand. Like, the reason I want to get that is because it says a good understanding is them that. Like, read it again. I'm getting twisted.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments.
Right. So how do we know that there's understanding there by what's when they finally what? They finally start doing. And the reason why I'm pointing it out like that because couples come in, they fight, they bump heads, they bumpy roads, bunch of hard, just you get what I'm saying, just the hard shit is all there first. And you start getting corrections, you start getting cussed out, you start getting whatever the case may be. You go through all the goddamn roads, and then next thing you know, y'all start moving different. You know, relationships start being smoother, and then next thing you know, you go from arguing every 2 days or every day and a half to maybe now you only argue every week, every once a week. Then you finally get to a point, where, oh shit, we good. We argued in 2 weeks. Oh shit, now we getting good. We getting oh shit, we done made it the whole 3. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Then you get to the point where y'all don't want from where it's constant arguments, arguing weekly, to now we don't really argue, but when we do argue, it may be a big argument. You know what I'm saying? But we see that y'all are learning to live with each other, learning to deal with each other, becoming more of a one by the doing. How y'all relationship going? You didn't have a relationship at first. You just had a goddamn locked in fighting partner. Y'all was just locked in and y'all was just able to fight each other all the time. Y'all was just fighting and your relationships was bad. It was fights every day, every 2 days, every other day, every week, whatever the case may be. And then as y'all start understanding each other, start moving the right way, y'all start fighting less and less. So good understanding are they that do. Now, what's going to put y'all on understanding? Remember the advice we gave last week? Well, not last week, but the week before. Let's go from here to Sirach 25. Sirach 25:1. For the people, don't be looking for Sirach, look for Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha.
Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 1. Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 1. In three things I was beautified, and stood up beautiful both before God and man. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and wife that agree together.
Read it again, Slakia.
Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 1. In three things I was beautified, and stood up beautiful both before God and man. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together.
A man and a wife that agree together. These are the three things that beautify us before all, for man and the Most High. So, husband and a man and a wife that agree together. Now, apparently, there's no agreements going on because you got fights going on. Good understanding are they who do the commandments. Meaning, the way we know you have understanding is by what you do. Both approaching a relationship, or one could be, I'm gonna put it like this: stop approaching a relationship from your point of view. I'm trying to figure out the right way to say this so it makes sense. It's like they that agree together. Two people supposed to be in agreement, but one is if you're coming into a relationship and only looking at the relationship from your view, your standpoint, or the way that you feel it's supposed to go, and there's no understanding there. How do two that agree together? So remember last time I gave the advice, I said, what is the end goal? What does that look like? Well, I mean, that's what's going to take. Y'all jump the gun. So all the filling that stage, y'all done killed that room, that area. So you got to start making shit make sense. How do we do that? This is what we want. This is what it looks like. This is the ultimate goal. Okay. Now, once we got that, we can. Once you got the understanding of what the end goal is, you can start building to get to it. But what's happening is both people just walking and ain't no end goal. So it says in 2 things I was beautified before man and God. And one of the things is a husband and a wife that agree together. They walk together. All right. Clearly, you two not walking together. Amos 3:3.
Amos, chapter 3 and verse 3. Amos, chapter 3 and verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
That's rhetorical. Can two walk together, at least they agree? The answer is no. No. So why can I sit here and say that these two clearly ain't walking together? Because they don't agree. The fight is the results of it. The constant fighting is the results of there being no understanding on where the hell y'all going or what y'all trying to get to. And even then, somebody is getting lost on something that's not exactly the big picture. Somebody's stuck on the way something feels or the way they want to do something versus what is the big picture. Um, Three things I was beautified. Man and a wife that agree together. Um, how do we know that these two understand what the hell they got going on about what they do? Good understanding. Have they that do the commandments? Um, so let's go to Corinthians now. First Corinthians 7. 7:28.
First Corinthians chapter 7, verse 28. First Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 28. But and if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she have not sinned.
Right. So it says, but and if the Virgin Mary, she have not sinned. So you two being together, you haven't being married is not a sin. You know what I'm saying? Here's the problem.
And if a virgin marry, she have not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you.
Such shall have trouble in the flesh. Meaning who? This young woman and this man that married together. They shall have troubles in the flesh. That right there, and he said, when I spare you, that's Paul basically saying, I'm warning you. Warning you that if you decide to take this road of marriage, woo! It's gonna be some fire down that road. It's gonna be some hell raised on that road. Um, it's going to be troubles in the flesh. And it's gonna be exactly what we talk about: fights, arguments. Um, Certain times where you just can't get it together. You gotta be pulled up and shaken and pulled up and gave correction and all of that. I mean, you shall have troubles in the flesh. You're taking two totally different people and making them one. I says you should have troubles in the flesh. I mean, and guess what? Those flare-ups are gonna happen out of nowhere sometimes. Just after being with somebody for a dispensation of time. Yeah. You get to that point where for some reason this particular month you be together years, and all of a sudden 1 month out of those years, everything you don't like about them is magnified. We don't know what's going on. We just fighting and just fighting. I know hell, today you woke up, their morning breath was stinker than it was the whole time you know them. That's just saying the way he fuck with you. Like morning breath was stinker than usual, or whatever the case may be. The way a motherfucker 2 day food just agitates you today. It's just like that's how it is. The troubles in the flesh. But you got to be able to work through them things. And if not, you get these type of calls where 3 a.m. you get a phone call and two people saying the most hurtful, two people that you know love each other saying the most hurtful shit they could possibly say to each other. There shall be troubles in the flesh. Go to Genesis. I forgot my first page missing. uh, Genesis, what, 2, I think? My first page missing now. I want to say 18, right? Oh, no, it can't be 18. Or is it? I don't know. Um, go to 23.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 23. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
And they shall be one flesh. So you're taking this man from his father and his mother. At this point in time, two people have raised him. This is all he knows. You know what I'm saying? He finally leaves the ship of the father, leaves following up under his father to become the lead in his own situation. The only time he's supposed to do that is when it's time to cleave to his wife. Okay. So I just forgot what I was going to say. All right, y'all. So it says, where was we at? Where was we at? For his wife, and the two shall be one flesh. Y'all have been raised in two totally different households. You got two different ways of dealing with things, two totally ways of going about things, and now you got to submerge that thing and become one. Let's look at that real quick. I want to see that. So I said that they should be one flesh, right? Damn, I forgot what I want. Go to Peters. No. Go back to First Corinthians. Damn. It says, two flesh shall be one. For this cause shall a man leave his mother and his father and his mother to cleave to his wife, and the two twain shall become one flesh. All right. Now, go ahead and get 11. Go to 11. First Corinthians 11. I'm trying to remember this. I said 11. I meant 14. The order. No, First Corinthians 14. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I told you. My bad. My bad. My bad. Go ahead and get the order.
All right. First
11, right? Yeah.
Chapter 11, verse 2. Yeah, verse 2. God praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinance as I deliver them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
Right. So the Lord says, the two shall become one flesh. Now, you're still two individuals, but you're one, you considered as one now. So within that, it's got to be a damn order. It's got to be a structure. I got to take us back to elementary with it. Okay, you got a couple that jumped the gun and they in the fighting stages. All right, so first and foremost, understand the order. As it's set up, the Most High said is man, which is the head of the woman. Christ is the head of the man. The Most High is the head of Christ. All right, so the order ain't there for no damn reason. And you got 14 and 40.
1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Right. So it says let everything be done with decency and order. Right. So it's got to be an order. Anytime there ain't order, there's going to be chaos. All right. So now, okay, we found a woman, we find a man. These two are going to be together. We start off. Understand. Let everything be done decently in order. How are we going to do that? He is going to be the lead. He is the head. Here's where a lot of the issues be coming in at. He say we're going this way. You grew up going that way. So now we got a disagreement. All righty. It may seem I can't sugarcoat it. I can't make it any nicer than what it is. He say we going this way. You want to go this way. There's a conflict. Let all things be done decently in order. What is the order? He is the head. Looks like the direction that you were comfortable going has just changed. Where the problem comes in is now you finna stand your ground on going the opposite way. All right, well, now we had a tug of war. But the only thing about this situation is who's the head? All right, so Genesis 3. Genesis 3, verse 16.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 16. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 16. And the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desires shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over you.
Right. The Lord said that your desires are to the husband, and he shall rule over thee. So here's the problem. 9 times out of 10, y'all probably not having the best communication anyways. But ultimately, he makes the call. He say, all right, look, we going, this is what it is. We going this way. He don't necessarily have to negotiate with you. The Bible says he is the ruler. He rules. I sure hope this is. Because right now, I just want to put it like this. Right now, it ain't beneficial. Y'all paying dummy taxes. Um, Fighting, you're tearing up shit in your own house that you're gonna have to go buy, rebuy. That's dummy taxes. Somebody go to jail and you gotta bond that person out. That's a dummy tax. So you ain't getting nowhere the opposite way. So now it's time to what incorporate the guys that we live with. Um, Go to all right. So they get into these situations and they start arguing, start fighting. Um, get that Proverbs 15:28.
Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 28. Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 28. The heart of the righteous studies to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pour out evil things.
But the mouth of the wicked gonna do what?
Pour out evil things.
That's where y'all get to calling each other dumbasses, stupid. You get to telling how you don't need nan nigga. And she get to becoming all types of bitches and stuff. The mouth of the wicked gonna pour out evil things. What's happening? Y'all having a disagreement. Ain't nobody using God's words. Everybody using their own words. So they conversations become more forward, more evil, more hard. Study is the answer, but the wicked mouth just gonna pour out all type of shit to each other. And before you know it, what happened? Get that Proverbs. Proverbs 12. Let me look. I ain't pulled it in a minute. It's 6. Proverbs 6 and 12.
Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 12. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 12. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth.
Good.
He winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet, he teacheth with his fingers.
Right. So it says, a naughty person, a wicked man with a froward mouth. That's where y'all start calling each other names. That's where y'all start getting to these saying the most hurtful things y'all can say to each other. This when she said this, it hurt. Or a matter of fact, he said this and it hurt. So now I'm gonna say this to try to hurt more. And so you know, y'all going tit for tat, don't want insults, zingers back and forth to each other as bad as it can get. And if you and because neither one of you walking with a godly spirit on you, that's how you know that y'all keep on talking and calling each other names, and now it's getting physical. When it says he winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet, he teacheth with his fingers. Now y'all fighting, physically putting your hands on each other. And y'all started with a disagreement when one person could have humbled down and either revisited it later, as in the man could have shut the conversation down. That's the end of this conversation. We talk about it later if I want to talk about it. Or the woman could have simply what? Just humbled down and played, just humble down. Submit. What happens is, in most cases, that need to be right. That need to be right overrules all righteousness. Because in the heat of the moment, you're missing your pride So what happens is they start fighting each other. So how do we avoid that? Well, we can do the submission like the Most High said, but we can go to um, let's go ahead and get into Peter's now. Let's get into Peter's now. All right, y'all. Hope y'all understand. Mhm. First Peter's chapter 2. We're gonna start at 8.
First Peter chapter 2 and verse 8. First Peter chapter 2 and verse 8. And a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense.
No. First Peter's 3. I said 2 and 8. So what the hell is wrong with me?
First Peter chapter 3 verse 8. First Peter chapter 3 and verse 8. Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another. Love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous, not rendering evil for evil,
Right.
or railing for railing, but contrariwise, blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, and ye shall inherit a blessing.
Read 8 again.
Verse 8. Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another. Love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous.
Right. So it says, finally, be all of one mind, having compassion one of another, as love as brethren. Be pitiful, be courteous. Now it says, not rendering. That's next. Go ahead, get the next verse.
Verse 9. Not rendering evil for evil,
Not rendering evil for evil,
or railing for railing,
or railing for railing. So now that's that. So this one did something that wasn't right. So now I'm gonna do something that wasn't right. Railing for railing is that tick for tack stuff that's going on. You said this, so when you said this, I said this, or you did this, so I did this. It's that tick for tack type stuff, and you know what the hell that brings forth? Brings forth more evil, more railing, more tick for tack, more ungodliness, and most of all, a damn judgment. Read 9.
verse 9. Not rendering evil for evil, or railing for railing, but contrariwise, blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye shall inherit a blessing.
That you shall inherit a blessing, but you will destroy those things if you can't walk according to what the Bible says. You can't walk accordingly, you will destroy whatever blessings were set for you to inherit. That's why I told you, love as brethren. That's some of the strongest. Practically the hardest love to break. So now, verse 7.
Verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge.
Dwell with them according to knowledge. You are the priest of the house. You are the head. You are the direction. You're supposed to be the sense of direction, discipline. You're supposed to be all of that. You are the Christ of the house. They're supposed to look to you for all things. And you got to work on your leadership skills if everything is a fight. You got to work on your leadership skills if you don't know how to communicate to the people that's under your authority. Everybody that's under your authority, like you gotta understand, this is the first time you taking on a wife is the first thing we get to see of. That's literally us, one of our visuals to see if you was you was placed in a position where you needed to rule. How would you rule? What would it look like? And your star player is fucking miserable. Your star player is miserable. As men, we gotta learn how to deal. We have to learn how to rule. We have to learn. Um, don't get me wrong. We are the men, so we want to be catered to. We want that. That's what we. Goddamn man, you deserve it. But I'd rather be served by somebody who's happy than just go to a restaurant where you get terrible service. The waiter got an attitude, the waiter upset, or they done gave this person hell all day. They just want to go home. The service, you can feel it in the service that they give you. Versus the person who got the working hand and a good spirit and good vibes. We look at the way that you rule. I'm just giving this to the man at this point right now, but we gotta work on leadership. Work on the way that we rule, the way that we endeavor through problems, the way we deal with them. It is what it is. We gotta become a safe. We gotta become a safe space for our wives, for our those that follow us. And in the midst of that, so you deal with them according to knowledge. And also that also goes back to remember how we say you keep those laws, statutes, and commandments, and even in front of the unbelievers, you be twice that. Well, you got to understand when we lead in the household, when we lead as men, the wives, the family, everybody, they look at us, they watch us. So guess what? You being the Christ of the house, you better be a goddamn example. You better be a safe example. You better be a strong example. You better be all the things that make them safely trust in following where you're going or where they're supposed to be going. It's easier to submit when you believe or you see what's going on. But in the midst of that, where's the flip come down? Because as I get, when we talk about the brothers and their leadership, right? Now let's go and we turn the chair this way. Now we look at the women and they following skills. See what I'm saying? Now, see how we got a two-way puzzle here? We got to work on leadership over here with us men. And the way that we lead and all of that. But now we also got to look at these women and let's see how good you are of a follower. Do you take orders? Will you follow the order? Will you be the peace that we need to keep moving through the captivity? Or is everything gonna be a goddamn fight? And now he can't be your leader because he gotta fight you. Which is why you hear us constantly beat down, submit, submit, submit. As we also beat down to the men, what? Lead, lead, lead. Take the be assertive. Make the decisions that make sense. So it says, verse 7.
Verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, judge them according to knowledge, give an honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, and your prayers be not hindered.
And that's why certain things don't fulfill themselves in like the household where the husband and the wife exist at. Certain things don't fulfill because of simply this right here, the way that they dealing with each other. The way that they dealing with each other is cursing a lot of blessings. So it tells you, deal with them according to knowledge, giving honor to them as the weaker vessel. There's an honor that we give to our wives as well, right? Because they the weaker vessel. But it says deal with them according to knowledge. Um, Whooping her ass ain't knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you got you a damn stud or something, and and that's the way y'all gonna work out y'all power structure, whatever. But y'all handing out ass whoopings to each other, ain't that ain't that's not according to knowledge. That's not according to knowledge. All right, all right. That's not according to knowledge. So now I'm gonna take short, brother. Man, the fuck up, and sister, sit your ass down somewhere. Uh, it says, give honor to them as the weaker vessel. Verse 6. What does 6 say though? I mean, start at 5. Start at 5.
Verse 5. For after this manner, in the in the old time, the holy woman also, who trusted in God, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husband.
Right. Being in subjection, being in submission to their husbands. Man, what? Sometimes, man, I don't know why in the hell women and sometimes brothers, but I'm talking to the women on this specific line. I see women do this with their mamas, their sisters, and their homegirls. They can be disagreeing, but all right, girl, whatever. And for the sake, so the argument to stop, they're just whatever. I'm done talking about it. But when it comes to the damn husband, the one that you should submit to like that, hell no, I'm gonna get the last word. And it says, be in adorn themselves, being in subjection to their own husbands. Why you gotta get the last word? It's the head of the head already spoke. Y'all, and that's why I said these goddamn communication lines be jacked. They gotta come together, talk about it. Man, if he got some type of jelly beans up here, you gonna take what you got to say. He already in this thing. Men, we already know what the hell we want to do. Sometimes we be iffy if we want to go through with it, but we kind of already know what we want to do. So we kind of know we talk to you. Guess what? Like, if you got any jelly beans, he gonna roll with us. You know, take what you say versus what he wants to do. 9 times 10, let's say y'all having a conversation. He gonna draw what's the best route to go or which way he want to take it. But sometimes a man already know exactly what, most cases, men already know exactly what it is they want to do. They just want to get your insight on it. So in some cases, well, I ain't gonna say some cases because he's the head, but in the when y'all have these conversations and there's a disagreement, just like when you argue with your friends, mamas, sister, whatever it may be, when you see it ain't going nowhere, it ain't budging, whatever you trying to tell them, you lie, whatever, and you let them find out the hard way, or whatever the case may be. You have to be able to get that same leisure to the head. And where do we keep going wrong with this particular couple? When it comes to these exact situations where one person wants to do this, the other person says, I want to do this, or we should do this, or whatever the case may be. And It's just the conflict of being raised up in two totally different houses. This one is used to doing it this way. This one is used to doing it this way. Um, it's always harder to judge certain things like that when you're not there to see it, because and I'm quite sure the communication is jacked up. Um, Instead of y'all fighting about the way it's getting done, has anybody asked the question, why do you want it done this way, or why you do it this way, or explain why you do it this way? You know what I'm saying? You come from two different households. You may come to find out that hell, the way that he telling you to do it is, well, better or easier, or it's a for sure way, or you may find out the way that she is just damn. I've been doing it this way the whole time, and she could have did it like this. You know, but ain't no conversation going. It's just a standstill. You heard this, and it was a mental block to you because you didn't do it this way, and a fight goes on. Tug of war. All right, but the problem comes in is when you motherfuckers start getting physical and you start messing up my sleep. Everybody, everybody I know, I don't mind losing sleep, but I should have lost sleep before hands got passed. So I'm gonna say it now. Sit your asses down somewhere. Start with the BS. Go ahead. Ephesians 5. Sit your asses down somewhere and conversate. You need to submit to your Lord, and you need to walk as a Lord. Fighting and carrying on, and let's go to verse 21. Well, it's 22.
Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord.
Right. So as you would submit to the Lord, this is the same way you would submit to this man that is your husband. Your job is to submit to him as unto the Lord. Don't be a damn sepulcher. Meaning what? Beautiful on the outside, but on the inside you're rotten. Meaning what? Anytime this man give you an order, anytime this man say something to you, instead of it being a quick and meek spirit like how Peter say, you be boiling on the inside. Your spirit is loud, angry, raunchy, ready to fight. It turns you into what? That woman that the Bible said is better to dwell in a wilderness than to dwell with. This contentious woman, this woman that's ready to fight. The spirit ain't meek. It ain't humble. She can't take an order from you. Anytime you say something to this woman, she burns up on the inside. Read that again.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord.
As unto the Lord. So the same way you would do it, and if Christ told you something, even if you start to get mad, the moment you remember who the hell that is talking to you, you catch and try your best to cool that spirit. Not today. I see that. That nigga in the kitchen told you to do something. That's what you look at him like. That nigga in the kitchen. Nigga in the kitchen told me to do something. So you boiling on the inside now. Go ahead.
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church.
Right, even as Christ is the head of the church. So, woman, follow the man. Listen to him. okay to give you input respectfully. Y'all talk about it. If he got any type of sense, he gonna roll with the best decision or what the best is. But at least y'all get on some type of ground. So it says, he is the. So like you read that again.
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church.
Even as Christ is the head of the church.
And he is the savior of the body.
Right. Go ahead.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
In what?
In everything.
Everything. Let you be in subjection to this man in everything. Okay, go ahead.
Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church.
Now that's where it starts to come back. So be in subjection to your husband and everything. And then turn around, husbands, love your wives even as Christ also loved the church. And what did he do?
And gave himself for it.
And he gave himself for it. So Christ made sure the church had all things. When people followed him, he made sure they had all things. He provided, he spiritually led and protected them, physically led and protected them. The people that was under Christ had an understanding of who they was following. Well, just the husband is the head of the woman, just like Christ was of the church. It is the husband's job to be what? A stone that everybody that's following him can look upon, follow, have the understanding. He will provide, and when it comes down to it, he's gonna give himself for it. Marriage is an easy, it's an easy concept, but it's a lot harder to do. You know what I'm saying? It's an easy concept. You would think that you just wake up and we're not gonna argue. And it just don't happen that way. It don't happen that way, man. So in the midst of it, just like how today was for me, marriage will be like that for many of you on some days. They just don't feel like doing this shit. Now I'm gonna help some of the we're gonna get up out of here, and we shouldn't, because I really should be tearing y'all asses apart, but we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. We're hour and 15 in. But I pray y'all take some from this and to the couple. Woman, you don't have to Shema Shemqua. Shut up! You don't have to shut up. Submit. Follow this man. Be his help, not his goddamn his enemy. Be his help. Help him make a decision. Don't fight his decision. And our brothers, we go through this captivity, we be going through a lot. Sometimes aggravated to me. We be aggravated, man. We don't be meaning to take that shit out on them, but we do. I would just say you gotta be better. You gotta be better leaders. Be better in our decision makings. Better in the examples, because that's what I said. This is another thing too. When you got a wife, it is literally like being in a congregation. Um, so like it's almost like it's damn it kind of is leading the congregation. Um, because you always got eyes on you, always. And well, so make sure y'all walking worthy, walking in honor. Um, once again, wives submit, be the help me, help them make decisions, don't fight decisions. Um, and men, be leaders, be considerate, and most of all, make sure everybody that's on the ship know that exactly. I'm gonna say everybody, people on the ship are important. If you on a, let me put it like this: if you on a ship, right? Let's say we driving, we going somewhere. Y'all all in the back seat. I'm driving, and you keep hit. We on the highway, and all you hear, and then a few seconds later, few seconds later, what's gonna happen? Eventually, what the fuck going on? Because your life is in this shit. It's in the car. You keep seeing me swerve onto the damn thing and let you know you're about to run off the road. Same thing with you as the lead. Uh, men, not you per se, but well, you literal too because you in the situation too. So the same way, you driving this car. Everybody else, life is in the car with you. Drive this motherfucker you like you got some sense. So nobody got a question. What the fuck is we gonna go? You need me to drive? Man. So men, let's be better leaders, better examples, considerate in all things, and wives be helpmeets, submissive, and I'm about to make up a word because I can't think of it. But, suggestive. Be suggestive. I mean, what? Help us make decisions. Help us do these things, but don't fight them. You, you I'm gonna tell you women now. You're not gonna fight his decision to change. You can only suggest, maybe, and your suggesting you can convince a better answer or whatever the case may be, but don't fight the decision. Men are hard tuned on accepting challenges. So if you come to them and make it in a challenge fashion, you're gonna get a man with a guard that's ready to fight. All right, so bring out something from it. Other than that, please don't hesitate to call, but I will be the nice, the nice Judea. This is about as nice as it's gonna get. After this, yeah, you're gonna get the real deal. So I pray y'all took something from it. Shalom. Most High in Christ.
Oh, sorry, bro.
That's right. Shalom, shalom. That's actually quite true. Gonna introduce you to the white door. Boom. That's correction. It's exactly what's gonna happen the next time you get physical around there. Shalom, happy Sabbath. Shalom, happy Sabbath, happy Sabbath, happy Sabbath. Shalom, shalom. Happy Sabbath. Hope y'all took something from it. Please take a second to slap the thumbs up while we live. Hit that thumbs up while we live. Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom. Shalom.